guys, thank you for tuning in again today. I have Tim here who placed 18th at the OCE Nats in Adelaide that we just had this past month. He did an extremely awesome job there. Well done, my friend, by the way. Just a quick. Just fell short out of the top 16. And yeah, the man was piloting the Gammas. So...
Gamma on the bed.
Bang. Let's get straight into the profile, my friend. Kick us away.
First and foremost, I want to thank all my opponents for the day for putting up with me having no voice, because it was a rough time. I had no voice. I couldn't communicate. I had to play with my hands a lot. So that was an interesting little hurdle, but we got over it. I didn't have much testing against red, which going into it is a really bad idea. I just didn't have time to test because I was working leading up to it. So I only faced 2 red decks, and I won against Gogeta and I lost against you playing Sin. So it worked out. Anyway, let's get into it.
Yeah, a few of us unfortunately versed each other.
More than a few.
More than a few times.
So we'll start with just the main stuff that every Gamma deck kind of runs. So you've got your 4, your top 5 searches that looks for a Unison or a red ribbon card. You play 4 because that's you play 1 every turn. It's a limit 1, you play it every turn. It puts a 5k combo in the drop as well, which fuels your Unison as well. And the other searcher being the Android 18. I think it's a top 5 as well, but you can pick up any Android card. It doesn't have to be red ribbon. So you do, honestly, if you start with these 2 in your hand, you just do both. You just thin out your deck a little bit. You find all the pieces that you need.
Cycle through,
Six feels good, like we kind of played around with the numbers a little bit, but 6, like 2 of the 18s and 4 of the other one just feels good. 4 Unisons.
4 Unisons. Now this Unison kind of like makes the deck, right? Like real good. Like,
and to be honest with you, like with Black Smoke in the format and everything, it doesn't hurt the deck that much, because you play it on your awaken turn, you awaken because you've got it out, and then if someone removes it, it sucks, but it doesn't matter, you know what I mean? It's mainly the deck to awaken early, I find. But yeah, it's so good if it sticks around as well. So much value. 5k on each turn, a free Z energy every turn, like each turn as well. It's very good. You got the things which kind of fix your energy. You got the Android 17, so it's the barrier guy, and then you got the 2 18s, and that's your crit, and they both do the same thing. It's basically to get stuff you don't want in your energy out of your energy. I was playing the crit. I was playing actually the split for the longest time ever, and then I was convinced to go down to just the 4 17s. I hated it, and I went back, and it felt good. We took out the promo. I've actually got it here. We took out the promo Gamma for these again, and it's way better.
So this just lineup felt a lot more comfortable, right?
Just having 2 very cheap things to do with your energy and 2 ways to fix your energy, because if you get stuck on your turn 3 with only 2 androids in there, you're pretty much going to lose yourself the game unless you get very fortunate against aggro decks. So yeah, 6 felt really good on that.
Beautiful.
What do we got next? So we got these numbers are very common amongst all Gamma lists. You're not going to see this change much, but you got your 4 dual colors. You charge that turn 1 or 2. You're going to do that every turn. Every game. A blue and a green comes out, dual attack. Pretty much all these cards have limit 1. But insane card, it's so good.
Awesome, like gets rid of a battle card as well or something.
Like equal or greater than their energy.
Equal greater, yeah, that's huge.
If it comes out turn 3, it's going to hit almost everything.
So it's good against like your Sin matchups and such. Like,
if they don't give it barrier,
which
they're going to be pretty foolish not to, then it puts in a lot of work. And then your 3 cell. When the deck first came out, a lot of people were running 4. Now 3 is fine, especially now that you've got the Z deck cell. The Z deck cell carries a lot more than this does, but you still want 3. It's a 5k combo, so if you see too many of them in a game, you don't care, because you can just combo it off for free pretty much. So
I mean, this card's insane, right? Like, I mean, dual attack, double strike, 30k.
I found out on the day that it only gets, I think.
On the day?
Like it's got something that it only gets when you play it from the energy, I think. No, maybe not.
Maybe it's something else you're thinking of.
Maybe something else I'm thinking of. Hey? A double strike. It only gets the double strike.
It only gets the double strike,
If you play it from your hand or energy, which, Yeah, I don't know where I was going with that. Forget what I said that. Cut that out.
No, we'll keep that in.
Jesse will do his better.
People always got to have a good audience. Well, man, we got to always have a good profile for this. It's
Super
fine.
combos.
Super combos. Right, so we run 4 of these, right?
Yeah,
And
so-
this guys, you mean, yeah. Is there anything else? Was the Vegeta's another one, or was this just a better?
I was playing the blue-green Android 18, the one that bottom decks one from hand.
Yep.
For the whole time I've been playing this deck, but the hand destruction route for this deck just wasn't as good. Drawing a card is just huge in this deck because you honestly don't draw a lot. And the main upside I found to this super combo, apart from it just being searchable as well, because it's a red ribbon, is just you start as a 10k, which the other combo did as well, but 10k early game, just to use it without the draw is good.
Yep.
And drawing a card, you see your secret rare more often, because that's... With this deck, when you were running the Android 18s, you didn't really see a super combo a whole lot, but now that you've got 4 extra draws in the deck, you see it so much more.
Yeah,
and
that's
cutting
huge.
the deck count down as well was huge. I think it's at like 52 or 53 at the moment. But
Okay.
Yeah.
And is that where you like Gamma to sit around 52, 53, not too much?
Yeah, like 50 to 53 you want to
50,
stay at.
yeah.
I don't think you want to go more than that.
Okay.
53 is probably still pretty big, but you need to fit everything in,
Beautiful. Yeah.
This was kind of like a new thing leading into Nats as well. I wasn't running it before, was the counter attack from energy.
So the Android 19?
Yeah,
Okay.
so you can just do, it's just a counter that you negate, that you pay 1 and it plays itself, like most decks have something like that.
Okay,
You can also do it from energy as well, so it's really big.
Yeah, that's huge.
Just having a body that you can bring out. Like if you pass on 1 energy and then just having a negate that you can use and then it plays itself, it's a combo off as well, like it's big. It's just really good, really handy to have.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Not that this deck really needed more negate. Now that you've got the Android 17 as well, it's 17, isn't it? Yeah, it is 17. It's just got even more now, more than it can work with. And then you got your 4, your floodgates.
The floodgates. So this is like pretty much like your topo, right?
It's your topo, but they bottom deck 2 rather than drop 2. If it goes in like really long matchups, this can sometimes work against you because this deck can. It gets pretty low on deck count because you're replacing a lot from the top of your deck, and if you're playing against mill, like you're losing. You deck out so easily in this deck now, and if you go in the grinding matchup against blue, this can actually really work against you sometimes. But it's too good not to play 4 of, and if you're playing against aggro, it's a big deterrent. No one wants a bottom deck 2 cards to attack, which you could possibly then negate.
100%.
And we got more counters and things. So you've got your Android 18. That's your main counter play in the deck.
This one's also the blocker, right?
It plays itself. It's a blocker. So if you've got a unison out, it costs 1 on your opponent's turn. So they're trying to Broly crown you or something like that. You can pay 1 and bottom deck it rather than them play it. On your turn, you do have to tap 4 for it, which I actually did do a couple of times on the day just to get through floodgates. You tap 4 and you get rid of their floodgate and you just keep swinging. And sometimes it's, with this deck, it's the only way you can get through.
Okay.
So it doesn't always feel bad to do that. And you're untapping 3 at the end of your turn anyway, so yeah, very good card. Just got the last foil for it, so finally.
He's finally
very
foiled
hard to
him
find, What do we got? We got our Beerus Destroys. A couple of the other boys that we went with weren't too keen on this card, particularly because I was actually playing 4 leading into the event, but I dropped it to 3.
Okay.
Put 1 in the side, but
So what made you go that way or make that decision if
to
some
cut
of the
down
boys...
to 3 or to actually play as much
To actually
as I am?
play as many as you are, because I mean, you're saying the boys weren't too keen on it,
I think
but it's still a good card, right?
It's still really good, but I think the main thing was, it hits your rush attack Vegeta before they give it barrier, but most of the time they attack into your unison anyway. I don't know, I still value it as just an extra super combo on the deck. Another draw. It's on your turn, it doesn't draw, but it removes something greater than their energy, so it's another removal. 10k with removal is just so good, and you have so much energy in this deck that you have too much. So you might as well use it for something. And 3 felt good. It didn't feel like it clogged the hand too much. 3 did feel really good.
I mean, you're always untapping and that, so you got access to your energy regardless, right?
And you pay for Dimension Magic in this deck.
Dimension Magic,
Pretty much most decks will play 3 or 4, so 3 Dirty Burst, and we got the 4 Dimension Magic as well. 2 or 3 is pretty standard in Gamma now. I actually side a 4th of this because it's one of the best cards Blue has at the moment. It hits so much.
With all the big boys running rampant around now, and people, by turn 2, turn 3, getting out.
Hard negates are king right now as well.
Yeah.
Like sometimes you just don't want people to hit the combo step, and
Yeah.
even just paying 1 and using it for a negate is big as well. It's
huge.
just good to have that. Dimension Magic,
Dimension
untap
Magic's a
2,
great negate.
Sparking 5 to untap 2 when you're tapped out as well. I did that a couple of times against. There's not really a whole lot that can counter that these days, but
Yeah.
I think red has a card that can do it, and of course yellow, so it can be risky, but
Card I've always thought, in my opinion, Dimension Magic is the best negate in the game, just simply because
Untapping 2 is
every
crazy.
stands 2, so it's just it's huge.
And then pretty much one of the main key additions leading into Nats was just the Smoke Dragon.
The smoke, yep.
I didn't really read my cards that often, but I found out on the day as well, you can just use it to draw 2 cards.
Yeah, 100%,
So,
man.
didn't know that.
you go.
I was in a really bad situation in one of my games, and I had nothing good in my hand, and I read the card again. I was like, oh, what can this do? Oh, I can draw 2. So
So this man hit 18th place. Can you imagine if you read his cards?
might have done a little bit better. And the matchups I had were so whack on the day.
so
as
weird,
well,
eh?
so
Yeah,
I'm pretty proud of
okay,
myself.
okay,
I played
okay.
against a pretty wacky deck.
Right, okay.
But
We'll
yeah.
go through that in a second if you can remember.
Yeah, I'll try to remember. I remember some of the wackier ones, and
Yep.
they were really grindy matchups.
They're really
but
grindy. All right, yeah.
Of the 2 cards that I drew from memory with this card, one of them was Hatch. So it was
of them
just,
Hatch, yeah,
it saved my ass, because I think I was up against the ropes when I did it,
Yeah, yeah.
And then Hatch. So
And then Hatch, yeah.
I haven't tested any other secret rares in the deck. I could see an argument for playing Beast Gohan in this
Beast Gohan,
deck,
yeah.
because it's just generically so good.
Yeah.
But Hatch is just, in when I was expecting a lot of aggro red, it felt silly not to play it. Because it just buys you a turn. It's not that answerable, and it just, if you see it, which now that you have more draw in the deck, it's huge.
It's such a good card, man. It's
Yeah.
such a good card. So,
Should we go into
moving
the
on
side?
now. The Z deck as well.
Should we do the Z deck or the side first?
We'll do the side. We'll do the
Let's
side.
do the
All right,
side, okay.
All right. We'll do the side. Yeah.
So the side is pretty. I honestly changed a few things on the night before.
Yep.
Shout outs to Jesse and Alex, a couple of other locals that came over. We all kind of workshopped it a bit. Gamma on the bed, we called it, because we were on the hotel bed just with all of our decks laid out. It was a good time. It was a bonding moment. And we did a little bit of tweaking to it, and we really kind of. Our decks aren't that different, but yeah, we had some good collaborations there. So, and they all did pretty well. To my knowledge, we all did pretty well. So we got the 2 draw apes. Now that I know that Black Smoke draws 2, honestly, this card's just less value to me now. I'd probably even just side a 3rd or even 4 Smoke Dragons. I don't really see value in this anymore, and I didn't side it in all day. Actually, no, I did against Android 21 because I knew it was going to be a grind. So I lied. I did side it once, but having an extra Smoke Dragon, I would have preferred that.
It's tough to tap 2 to draw 2 now.
Yeah, this was just. If there was a Beerus that I ran into, which I didn't, or an SS4 Ram, I wanted this card. I didn't run into it. I did side it. I can't remember against why. It might have been Android 21, and I don't know why, but I sided it in just to have a draw and just something that I could combo off early. But it was mainly in there for those ramp decks that can just, in one turn, win the game.
Yeah.
I was a bit scared of that, but yeah, didn't see any, so that was good. This card, in theory, I thought was going to come up a lot. I did side it against... I think I sided against you playing Sin, but honestly, I didn't see it. I drew so dead. I'm going to use that as my excuse. I drew dead in that matchup. You got lucky. And this card actually was in my hand at one point, and I just wished it wasn't. But yeah. But no, you played well. You did play well. This one here was the big one.
I love you, man. I love you.
I love you too.
I love you, man.
This was the big card. So this was the one that Alex kind of put me onto.
Yeah,
and I didn't have any
cool.
copies. I didn't have any copies of it. So
Final Hope / Okay.
yeah, the main, I guess, thing with this card was an answer to. It was originally just an answer to the Rush Attack Vegeta.
Gotcha.
Because it can just remove it. If they stupidly swing into your Unison, which is normally a free attack, before they give it barrier, you can just bounce it back to their hand, which would just make it leave the game. Obviously, if they give it its barrier, I'm pretty sure it won't hit it anymore because it's 15k power or less.
Yep.
But which to my knowledge, not many of the Gamma lists were running this, some red decks might have felt safe swinging into a unison, this is what this was for. And the one person there that I think was most keyed onto it was Chris, and I actually got in with it. But we had to talk about it afterwards, and he didn't really have any other options but to just put some pressure on. So it did come up. I sided it twice.
Sided it twice, yeah.
It hit a Beerus, like a blue Beerus, the barrier Z card. It hit that as well, so it's good for that as well. But main thing being rush attack Vegeta.
Yeah.
It can just untap as well. If you've got a unison out, it untaps one energy. It's not a hard negate, it's just a counter that can untap one when you use it for free as well. It's huge. So that untapping one was also a big thing for that. Because you do a lot with your Beerus destroyers. If you're tapped out and you don't have any D magics, untapping that one energy is just big.
It's huge.
The now banned card, God Sealing. This was...
The old faithful God Sealing.
Yeah. I had 2 in the side. I ended up bumping up to 3, and I'm glad I did. This was huge against Black Hatchyak, which was I think it was my final match of the round, which was the hardest match of the day. My opponent was an absolute legend. He's a cool guy, and to my knowledge, I think he got second in the side event.
Yep.
Can't remember his name, I'm so sorry, but really nice guy. He
Yep.
was the fastest hatch player I've ever seen as well. He was just a really gracious guy as well. This one here, hitting the Oceanus negate, just bought me extra attacks early on, which I would say probably ended up helping me in the end to win the game.
Yep.
That's what it's for. You can't play it on your turn if you do the leader effect, but on your turn, just using it, for free when you got to use it out to hit a floodgate, bouncing it back to their hand, that's what it's for. And yeah, it honestly helped me so much on the day. So glad I put an extra one in as well.
Yeah, beautiful.
Because I think I saw all 3 against the hatch player.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And that was, I can't say enough how massive that was. It's huge. We got a 4th Dirty Burst.
The 4th dirty.
4th Beerus Destroyers. I did, during the day, I did side both of these in, and because there's a lot which you can take out of this deck for certain matchups, and yeah, they both came up. This is what won me the game against Hatch. I didn't have it in my deck on my side. Jesse keyed me onto it. I don't see the value in it, to be honest with you, anymore. But now that God Sealing's gone, it's even better. This is what actually got me the win against Hatch, because we were in time, and just burning that last life, that's what got me the win. So probably best addition next to God Sealing for the day into the side deck. And this one here was huge as well.
Oh, yeah.
Another
baby
way
of
to
Golden
answer,
Eight,
yeah, look, might have even sided a second one if I were to redo the side deck. But this one against Floodgates as well, late game, you don't care about tapping 5. It draws a card, it removes some ignoring barrier. I think I used this against Hatch as well. And that's a grindy matchup, and all 3 of these cards just came in clutch.
Yeah.
That's the side, and
Beautiful, man. Beautiful.
yeah. The only thing I could really say, like I said, is taking out the draw apes for maybe some other stuff in there.
Draw
but
apes,
it was pretty solid throughout the day.
Yep.
Z deck.
So with the Z deck.
This one here attacks the hand if they've got 11 or more. It brings it down to 10 cards, I believe, if you play it. That didn't come up, but
It was a bit of hand control just in case.
bit of hand control, but its main effect is giving I think it's like a multicolor card or a card with 2 names. It gives it 11k in triple strike during the battle. So paired with the blue-green, where is it, if I can quickly get it, paired with this one here, it makes it a 30k, sorry, not 11k, 10k, it's a 30k triple strike in the battle step, and that can come up, but it didn't during the day. But
okay.
It can come up.
It can come up. Okay.
So one of those, 2 Beerus, which, huge. You actually don't attack with it that often. It mainly sits there as a barrier removal for 2 every turn.
Yeah, I mean, this Beerus was actually quite a problem for me when I was going up in it.
Well, giving your big guy barrier, still see you later. Still get rid
that's
of it.
it.
Like I said, like a lot of the Crimson decks, I believe, just play it not to attack. They play it just as removal.
This is board
And
removal.
it sticks around for the whole game.
Yeah.
The cell, I need a third, but
He needs a third, guys. He needs a third.
I need a third. Huge. This card is amazing. Can't say more about it. And then the Vegito, which I played against Hatch to remove the Kai secret rare. That's the only time I played it all day.
I mean, this Vegito is huge in itself,
Yeah,
right?
you used to play more, but now that there's more barrier removal in the game, it's just
Defect, barrier, triple strike, blocker, like it's just...
attacks the hand, attacks the board as well. But yeah, now there's more barrier removal, you don't play it as much. But we all know what the lead does. I'm not going to read it, but that's your Z deck,
And
your
there's
side
the
deck. There you go.
Awesome, man. Awesome. That is wonderful. Thank you very much for that. Is there any shout outs or anything else you want to go through, man, with your day?
I'll just quickly mention it was not what I expected. Like I thought I was just going to run into red and blue all day.
Yeah.
Didn't face a crimson.
Yeah, right.
Played
Okay.
against one gamma, which I lost to in the first round. Great. Yep. And then the 2 red matchups were 2 other people from Perth. So it was just a weird day. I played against Android 21. I played against Hatchyak. I played against Go Tanks. I don't know. It was just weird. It was all over the place. I didn't face the same deck twice, but it was a good experience. Apart from losing my voice and almost getting mugged on the first day, I believe it was. But I would.
So we got a bit of an experience from Adelaide there.
I won't get into that. You know what? I would do it again, and I will do it again. Next year. But that's it. Yeah.
Beautiful, man. Well, thank you,
everyone.
Thank you very much for your time, Tim, man. So this was 18th place, guys. Top 32 at Nats. Always remember, we like to hit that bell to stay notified, like and subscribe, all that fun stuff. And we want to thank our partners here at Beyond Odyssey for everything they do, and Indy at TCT. Thank you very much, guys. We'll see you on the next one. Cheers.